Hi, hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3800. Yeah, we've been arrived at 3800 episode, which is like a really good. Okay, I never really thought that I would supposed to be achieve this number, like 3800 episode. That's really massive. Whatever. Today's date is January 6, 2026. It's been almost like a morning at 9:12 a.m. All right, so should we jump into the question? Let's go. Okay, where it is? Here is question. Okay, the question is, what if time travel change small details? That's really good question. Okay, yeah, and I love this category of the question. I love time travel, by the way. Like, it's kind of like actually one of my favorite genre to kind of like think about this particular stuff. It's too much. Maybe I would here. Okay, yeah. Pinchu. I broke. I broke. Shit. Sorry. So this is whatever. I am little bit of hurt right now, but if you seen it, this is the kind of like a something blood. I get it. Well, it actually happened because of that key. It's something is actually here. Okay, I sit on that particular stone and stone hit me with the its press happened and things like that. Whatever, it will gonna cure by itself. It's not like that. I am also a very like whatever. Okay, let's just jump into the question. Yeah, somehow I just feel like that I'm used with this thing. All right, so this is My Artifact episode number 3800. Okay, yeah. Today's date is January 7 or 6, 6th of January. Yeah, 6th of January 2025, 26 actually. And it's been almost like a morning at 9 9:15 a.m. Okay, yeah. So what is exactly the question? The question says that what is exactly the question? The question is ki, what if the time can change the small details of it? What if the time travel change the small details? Okay, yeah. And time travel is a kind of like only one of my special category and things like that. Okay, whatever. So what exactly is this question and why am I asking this question to myself? This is what if question. Why am I asking this question to myself? What if question is always been really interested way to give the answer. It kind of like a force me to think about that reality. When I try to think about that reality or when I try to create that reality, I'm kind of like utilizing my knowledge and information and experience that I've been through, and somehow it kind of like a felt good. Disclaimer: the information that I'm trying to tell you is not exactly right or it's not exactly wrong either. It's a raw, it's unfiltered, it's just my opinion. So do not believe in any kind of like information that I'm saying, or do not seek for any kind of like information that I'm saying. It's just my opinion, and opinion are subjective. Now regarding about the question says that ki, what if kind of like a time travel kind of like a change even small detail, kind of like something like that. Okay, yeah, let me re-verify the question. Okay, what if time travel change the small details? Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna kind of like simply give the answer according to the experience that I've been through. Okay, yeah. There are so many things are actually happening in my life, and I wanted to understand that what if something happened, that what would be my life today would be. Okay, yeah. So there is a one specific moment that I wanted to tell you. That moment was kind of like a shifted my life entirely different. Okay, what exactly is this thing? What exactly that? Well, like I don't want to go back in time. Okay, yeah, and things like that. Okay, let me tell you one thing. If I went back in time and if I kind of like mess something up, it kind of like a somebody butterfly effect will gonna happen. Like if I change this, then it will gonna change this and that and that and that. It's kind of like a create a like a lot of kind of like a chaos and things like that. Okay, yeah. I want to think that, like, I wanted to kind of like somebody tell you something that key, if I did this thing differently, then what would be that? Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let me for this particular understanding. Okay, yeah. I am me. Okay, yeah. And I'm trying to understand that who exactly me is exactly like I was supposed to be. Okay, yeah. Um, in 2011, I was in the 12th standard, and I got I, I got okay. So in 12th standard, I was in the 12th standard 2011 science stream, by the way, and I want to go to the engineering college. Okay, why? Because everyone are kind of like a going to the engineering college, and also I decided that yeah, I also want to go to the engineering college. Why? Because like I just kind of like a following the flow that everyone kind of like a doing it, that and things and that and that. All right. Now if I want to go to the engineering college, I need a kind of like a something, a PCM group. Okay, yeah. What's a PCM group? A PCM group means physics, chemistry and maths. These are the three subjects, and in these three subject you have to get 300 out of 300 out of like a 135. Okay, yeah. Like basically if you want to get into the engineering college, you need a kind of like a something 135 marks or above in a kind of like add three subjects, like basically physics, chemistry, maths. 100 that means 300 300 marks. So within a 300 you have to get at least like a 135 so that you are eligible for engineering college. Okay, so I, I for I wanted to be kind of like go to the engineering college, so this kind of like a 135 marks I needed, but I didn't get it. Yeah, I didn't get 135 marks. I get 112 marks. Okay, yeah. Sorry, 111 marks. Okay, I get 111 marks in PCM groups, physics, chemistry, maths, and I am not eligible for engineering college. I was so devastated and things like that. But that year there is something happened that he the actually that year new GR launch, new GR or new rule launch. Okay, in that particular rule, the people who are kind of like belong to the scheduled caste community. I am belong to the scheduled caste community. So people who are kind of like belong to the scheduled caste community, they don't really require 135 marks. Even if they have 120 marks, still they can go into the engineering college. Okay, yeah. And I was failing that particular thing too, because even if the criteria kind of like got lesser, but still I am not eligible because I got 111 marks. Okay, so I'm not eligible for that, and since then I'm right here. Okay, I never really been into the engineering college and things and that and that. So I am gonna change one thing here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna change that key. What if uh, instead of 111 marks I get 120 marks or 121, let's just say 10 marks higher. Okay, like I just get 121 marks. Okay, so if I get 121 marks in my PCM group, then I am eligible for going to the engineering college. Okay, yeah. So and basically at that time I really wanted to go to the engineering college, and if I went to the engineering college, then I'm started imagining myself that what would be my life today. Well, there are like I am not really sure what will gonna happen because I never really seen that particular timeline, what will happen and things and that and that. But I would supposed to be guess kind of like somebody guess kind of like I'm kind of like somewhat something predict that key what would gonna happen if I kind of like went into the engineering college and things and that and that. First of all, that if I went to the engineering college, I am not really good at studies. Definitely not, and probably I will gonna kind of like a fail multiple times. I might gonna get kind of like a some DC, or maybe kind of like a backlog in a subject. It was like yeah. So probably engineering college are for 4 year, but I didn't really think that I might gonna complete that engineering college in 4 year, because I will have that backlog and things and that. And probably I might not complete this engineering college within a 4 year. It might take at least like a 5 to 6 year to complete engineering college, probably even more than that. But yeah, these are kind of like a things. But college are not meant for kind of like simply just things. College like things means like marks and things and graduation. No, college are meant for experience and things and that. And at that time I wanted to experience the college life. Okay, I love being college life. I always been really excited about this thing, that what if I would have this college life and this and that. Like because of the kind of like some Bollywood film industry kind of like some letting me think about that what would be the college life and things and that. And I was always kind of like admire that a college life would be a kind of like a new beginning and things like that. And and I knew beginning of the life and things and that, and I was like, dude, yeah, going to the engineering college was like super crazy and things and that. So so if I went to the engineering college, then what would gonna happen? Probably I will not have in good studies. I might have kind of like a couple of backlog subject and things like that. But there is a one thing that I might think that I would have is that I might fall into the relationship, probably. And why is that? Why do you think? Like because of that like you went to the diploma college, okay, yeah, and in the diploma college you never really get any kind of like a girlfriend or things like that. So why do I think that if I went to engineering college I might get kind of like a something that uh, like a girlfriend? I don't know. Okay, yeah. It's not really that probably I didn't really get girlfriend in a diploma college. Is not because of that I don't want. Is because of that in my diploma college there is no girls at all. Literally, yeah. Like my diploma college was a engineering diploma, sorry, uh, polytechnic. Okay, yeah. So in the polytechnic, I took the admission at Agnihotri Nagthana, which is kind of like a far beyond from my city and things like that. And the admission are very low. Okay, very low. And people who are actually took the admission over there are those people who just don't want to attend the college. They just want to attend the exam and that's it. Okay, yeah. So basically this college are not meant to have that many student. Okay, yeah. And whoever the student would be there, who whatever the student would be there, the female kind of like a things are very less, like a very less probably. And also I took the mechanical stream. Okay, yeah. So mechanical stream is not meant to have any kind of like assembly women and girls and nothing really at all. So probably is this thing that in the diploma college I didn't really have any kind of like assembly women or female exposure and nothing really at all. So that's why I haven't really have any girlfriend in the diploma college. But if I went to engineering college, then I might have kind of like a some girlfriend or things like that. Probably, I'm not really sure about that. Because of that, there is a one factor that I realize that there is a one factor that there is no kind of like a female exposure in the diploma college. That is one thing. But another thing is that I didn't really get to the engineering college. It kind of like hurt me very bad. Why? Because of that all my friends are went into the engineering college and I didn't went to the engineering college. Okay, yeah. And it kind of like somebody put me in back foot that I am very much miserable and things and that. Okay, yeah. At that time I don't really have one man group. Okay, yeah. Like basically I get one man group in 2011. Okay, yeah. And also these stories also belong to the 2011, but one man group is a kind of like somebody is this thing that I was not really attached that much. Okay, yeah. Like basically like in 2013 or 2014, like 2013, since then I'm kind of like a been really attached with those guys. But before that I didn't really have that many group. Okay, and these stories actually belong to that particular time in 2011 2012 at that time. Okay, yeah. So in 2011 2012 I was kind of like a very much devastated because all my friends are went to the engineering college and I didn't really went to the engineering college. One thing. Another thing is that I feel really miserable. I feel like failure that why is that? Why am I like, I just feel like that na ki I was kind of like a chosen one to kind of like a something is this thing that ki I was not went to the engineering college, because like all my friends are actually went to the engineering college. Everyone actually went to the engineering college when the new GR launched. Then probably everyone are went to the engineering college. I never really found any person who kind of like took the diploma or engineering college, or sorry, polytechnic. Nothing really at all. I'm just the only one who kind of like took the polytechnic, and I was feel like that ki like very fucked up. Okay, yeah. So I was kind of like consider this thing that it's a kind of like a something that a wrong thing happened with myself. Okay, yeah. I'm probably at that period of time now. I was kind of like a very much like emotionally was not strong. Okay, yeah, and I was kind of like a like I was thinking that na ki, like I'm like a basically external validation is a kind of like a somewhat something that people wants na. I also seek the external validation too, and I don't really have that external validation because I never really went into the engineering college, and I was thinking that I was kind of like a feel like failure, and literally I was kind of like a feeling like failure and things and that, and that's why I just thought that I am kind of like a somebody like a neglecting myself, or kind of like a somebody just keeping away myself from good things that I consider myself that it's not really good thing and stuff like that. And since then, in after that, my filmmaking was like interest regarding about filmmaking was kind of like a became much higher. Okay, I was kind of like a taking it very seriously because of filmmaking and things and that. But but like if I went to the engineering college, then I might not think about filmmaking that much. Like let me tell you one thing, I love filmmaking. It's not really that my filmmaking love would be changed if I went to the engineering college. But the problem is that uh, when there are so many good things are actually happening with your life, then you might not think about that kind of like a somebody harsh and things that you will not gonna take any kind of like a somebody a decision that kind of like a somebody that okay, let me tell you one thing. It's a very hard to explain. Okay, yeah. Um, when you are so happy, okay, yeah, when you are so happy, then you are want to live that moment. You wanted to live that moment, or you wanted to kind of like a somebody experience that moment or absorb that moment as much as you can. Okay, yeah. You don't want to leave that moment. Okay, like let me tell you one thing. If engineering college are give me the happiness and fun and things and that and that and that, so why would I supposed to choose a kind of like a somebody filmmaking thing? It's not. Why? Because of that filmmaking is a kind of like I always knew that filmmaking was kind of like something really hard, very things and that, and probably is this thing na ki I might not think about that filmmaking is a kind of like a career that I should supposed to be choose. Is not because of that ki I don't want to. Is because of that ki I will not put the courage. I will not put the kind of like effort in things like that. Let me tell you one thing now. Ki in diploma college, I was very failure. I feel like failure and things like that, and because of I'm kind of like a feeling failure, I wanted to kind of like a change my life and things and that. So for me, filmmaking is a kind of like a only one thing that kind of like I was hoping that it would kind of like a change my life and things like that. But if I went to the engineering college, then probably I might not feel very miserable or things on that and that. Okay, yeah. So if I'm not kind of like a feel any kind of like a miserable, or if I'm not feel any kind of like a only failure and things like that, why would I supposed to be think about filmmaking? Is not because of I don't really love filmmaking. I love filmmaking, but is that at that time I was not really think about that it might be a kind of like a career that I should supposed to choose and things like that. So I might not think about that filmmaking. I will gonna watch kind of like a some couple of filmmaking videos and things and that, but still I will not gonna choose any kind of like a filmmaking career. Okay, yeah. And because of this thing, it kind of like a change everything. Like let me tell you one thing, this artifact I kind of like a started is because of that ki I realized myself that if I wanted to be a filmmaker, if I wanted to go to the Bombay and things and that, I would gonna face a lot of struggle and things, and I need to understand myself and things like that. So that's why I kind of like a create this artifact so that I would supposed to be, and I created this artifact in 2015. Okay, 11th of February 2015, which is kind of like a way after, like it's actually happened in 2011. But the kind of like assembly is this thing na ki the artifact like basically what I'm trying to tell you is this thing na the recipe does not happen in that moment. Like basically if I'm gonna say that artifact I started in 11th of February 2015. Okay, yeah, and it kind of like changed everything, but it's not like basically what I'm trying to tell you is that initial push was really really essential. Like it's a very essential to understand that key, why do I record this artifact, why do I this that this and that and that, is because of that I feel like failure and things and that. Okay, yeah, and if I feel failure and things and that, so that's why I kind of like suddenly decided that okay, I wanted to document, I wanted to understand myself, I wanted to kind of like figure it out that okay, do I have that strength to go into the Bombay and kind of like do my struggle and things and that. This is all those things that actually happen is because of I feel failure because I went to the diploma courses and things like that. Okay, yeah, if I went to engineering college, then probably I might not feel that failure. Okay, yeah, I might, even if I will have that backlog, but if I will not gonna feel that failure and things like that, and if I'm not feeling that failure and things like that, I might not have filmmaking thing, and if I'm not have filmmaking thing, I might not develop this artifact. Okay, yeah, so probably what I'm trying to tell you is this thing that na ki the beginning of this artifact is kind of like a started in 2011 when I didn't really went to the engineering college, and this is what kind of like a somewhat something true. Okay, yeah, so let me tell you one thing, and okay, why this artifact kind of like a change like a so much important, like it is like a very very important in my life. Like I never really been through, I never really kind of like a somebody experienced that particular thing. Like artifact changed my life, changed the personality, changed the person who I was and things like that. And if I went to engineering college, then I might not develop this artifact, I might not. Yeah, but the question is actually belong to that ki what if I would have this kind of like only 121 marks, I went to the engineering college, then what would be gonna happen? I might have a girlfriend. Okay, yeah, like I will have like I might have a girlfriend probably. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna share and things and that. Okay, yeah, regarding about the girlfriend. Okay, yeah, in 2011, like after I took the admission in polytechnic, I never really consider myself that I am a kind of like a somebody guy that a kind of like a somebody girl should supposed to be kind of like a somebody that ki a girl should supposed to be my girlfriend or things like that. Because as that time I was consider myself such a failure that I am not deserved to be have a girlfriend or things like that. And this is also kind of like a something add a reason. That's why I record this artifact. That's why I kind of like create the artifact and things like that. Okay, yeah. If I went to the engineering college, probably I might not feel that miserable, and I'm gonna still talk with the kind of like a some woman that I love and things and that, and I might have a kind of like a some girlfriend, which is kind of like a somebody is this thing not. It's kind of like a somebody does not create any kind of like a reason to record the artifact and things like that, which is kind of like a somewhat something true by the way. Okay, yeah, and and basically I might get backlog, like probably it will gonna took me like a 6 year to complete degree. Okay, yeah, I might have kind of like a graduation. Okay, hello pani. Oh, oh, all right, I have to go. There is a some sort of work, and there's just a story. Sorry about this thing. I wanted to continue that fact, but still, this is it. Thank you.